Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get this free Galaxy Opal TYRESE HALIBURTON fast and easy, and how to complete his challenge super easily in MyTEAM. I completed this challenge in one try, and it was actually quite simple, despite the fact that it looks kind of challenging. You just go down here to challenges, go to skill challenges, and then down to Return of Heroes challenge or trials. You go to the one that says the 100, and this is the challenge that you have to complete to get this Galaxy Opal TYRESE HALIBURTON. And when you look at it on paper, 100 points with a player, that sounds pretty hard. But I'll be completely honest, this challenge is not very challenging at all. It's 8-minute quarters on pro. 8-minute quarters on pro, so it's actually super like a significant amount of time that you have to do it, and pro difficulty is very easy. You're going to make the vast majority of shots that you do take, so it's honestly not a particularly hard challenge at all. We're going to hop into a game in just a second. I'm going to talk y'all through my strategies to complete this challenge as easily as possible. So before we hop into the video though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 5,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. We're less than 300 subscribers away. We've been making a lot of growth recently. I would love to hit that by the end of June. So without further ado, let's hop into the game, and I'll talk y'all through my strategies to score with those 100 points with one player. First thing that I am going to talk about is the fact that the team you're playing against is not particularly challenging. You're going up against Amethyst, Bob Cousy, Diamond Sam Jones, Pink Diamond Bailey Howell, and a couple other Diamonds. I'm pretty sure Diamond Bill Russell, and maybe Amethyst John Havlicek, something like that. So not a particularly challenging team in the first place, and I don't think the bench is any better. No, it's not. You got Bill Sharman, Bailey Howell, Casey Jones. None of these cards are particularly good. It's at best that Pink Diamond, Bailey Howell. So they're not hard cards to score against in the first place. But the only settings that matter in this game is offensive settings. You just want to go down here to freelance, put on your freelance, whether that's Bucks 2018, Hawks 2018, or whatever, so that you can get your proper floor spacing, which will make it easier for you to score. But that is the only setting that I think is of any importance to do in the pregame settings. Then when you hop into the game, there are a couple strategies I feel like that you can use to make it really easy for you to rack up points really quickly and make this challenge very simple. And also, the challenge does end once you get the 100 points. So if you get the 100 points in the second quarter, like I was able to, you're going to be able to get this challenge done much quicker than the allotted 8-minute quarters that it says. So get into the game, put on your freelance, and then all you honestly have to do, I think this is pretty much the simplest way to do it. Go pass and screen away, run into the paint, and do the drag back move, which I've talked about in my dribble tutorial. If you need the dribble tutorial, feel free to go take a look at it as I shoot a full bar there. That's not going to happen very much, so you're going to make literally 90% of the shots that you take from there. But you literally do that drag back move, which is just not touching any of the dribble sticks or anything like that, and then you go up on the right stick and down on the left stick at the same time while not holding turbo or anything like that. You just do that drag back move, shoot with whatever person you're trying to score the points with, and you're going to score 90% of the time. You can just shoot over a defender, but most of the time you're going to get an open or a wide open, at most like a 5 to 6% contested. And I would recommend using cards for this challenge that have super fast releases, whether that's Michael Jordan or Luka Doncic or Richard Jefferson or the new Malik Sealy or guys like that. Like, there's a lot of cards you could be using. Michael Finley, Gilbert Arenas. As you can see, though, drag back, shoot the ball, you're going to make the vast majority of the shots you take. I know I missed that one there, but the drag back is really the easiest way that you can score consistently, I feel like, in MyTEAM. Then on the defensive end, I would go into a full court press and just let the opponent shoot the ball every possession, because you're going to outscore them by shooting threes every single possession. So you go into a full court press, and then after you score, I'll score right here, and then I'll show you what I do after I score. So I make the 3 right here, and then as soon as I'm in this full court press, whoever the players are that are running down the court on the opposite team, I just run away from them with the guys that are guarding them and let them score, because then you get the ball back much quicker, much easier. It's very, very fast and more effective to get those shots up as quickly as possible. Also, I recommend not holding turbo, because if you hold turbo, it's going to gas your player out, whoever you're trying to score with, much quicker, which is going to make them less likely to make their shots. The dribble moves less effective, increase the risk of them getting injured in game before you complete the challenge. But yeah, just basically let them score every single possession. If they're in the half court like that, you can just run away from them with Taco or whoever is guarding their center, and just let them take a dunk. Like, you can really let them score basically every single possession, because they're, for one, not going to score every single possession, and you're still getting threes basically every single possession. As y'all can see, after those first 2 misses, I've made every single shot. We're already up to 12 points, and we're less than 2 minutes into the game. You can easily get 40-50 points a quarter and complete this challenge by the second or third quarter, which makes it really a much easier challenge to complete than you would think. So again, just space the floor, run your pass and screen away, take like 2 steps into the paint, like here, or into the inside the 3-point line, drag back and shoot over the top. You can literally do that with your point guard every single possession, and you will score 90% of the time. It is really that simple. And then defensively, just run away from the players that are down the court and let them score. And if they don't initially throw it to those players, just leave them open anyway. They're going to shoot the ball, and then you can get the ball back much quicker than having to potentially run close to a 24-second defensive possession against you. So my goal in this challenge was just to complete it as fast as possible, and I really do think this is basically the most effective way that you can do that. As y'all can see, I am just getting threes every single possession. It is super easy to do no matter really who you're using at PG. You could even use budget options at the PG position. Zach LaVine, Jalen Green, Dwayne Wade, guys like that are going to get the job done still at an incredibly high level, and it's going to set you up for a ton of success and the ability to complete this challenge really easily, really quickly. You're going to get it done first try, and I think that's part of where the stamina comes in as well. You don't want to be running the stamina and risking the player getting hurt, because if the player gets hurt, obviously that's going to reset the challenge and you're going to have to go back and do it again, which is still pretty annoying. But I think these tips are the best way to complete this challenge. And yeah, let's hop back into the main menu and let's review those tips that I talked about, and let's get out of this video. All right, so wrapping up this video, the first thing that I think is important to note, you want to make sure your scorer is probably at your point guard position. I didn't really talk about that much at the beginning of the video, but because Amethyst Bob Cousy is the player you're going up against, and he's like 6'1", not a great defender, doesn't have Intimidator, things like that, he's not going to be preventing you from scoring with your PG very much. So whether it's Luka or Luka or Michael Jordan or Jalen Green or Zach LaVine or Dwayne Wade, etc., there are a lot of good shooting point guards in the game that you can use, and you just really need somebody who can shoot the ball at a high level. Even guys like Gilbert Arenas, Derrick Rose, Drew Holiday, Gary Payton, etc. There's a lot of cards you can be using at the PG position, but any of those guys will get the job done. And then you're going to want to make sure you put your freelance on so that you have proper spacing, and then just take like 2 steps inside the 3-point line on the offensive end of the court. Do that drag back move, which, like I said, up on the right stick, down on the left stick without holding anything else on the controller, no turbo or anything like that. You do that drag back move from like 1 step inside the 3-point line, shoot over the top. You're going to get an open shot, an open three, basically every single time. Super easy to green, super easy to knock down. Then defensively, put yourself in a full court press, let the opponent score off the inbounds by not guarding the guys down the court. If they are in the half court, just run away from the guy who's at the center, and they'll just throw it into the center and dunk the ball, and you're still going to outscore them easily by shooting threes every single possession. And honestly, the defense, the team still isn't going to score every single possession, so it's super easy to complete in that way. Also, make sure you're not using the right trigger button too much. You don't want to run out your player's stamina too quickly, because you don't want to risk them getting hurt and then having to reset the challenge and do it again. But if you do all of those simple tips, you're going to have complete easy success with this challenge. It's not a hard challenge at all. It seems hard on paper. 100 points to the player is a lot, but in a challenge on this difficulty with this much time against a team like this with the cards that are out in today's game, it's really not that hard of a challenge at all. So I think y'all should be able to get it done very effectively and get this TYRESE HALIBURTON card pretty quickly if you are trying to go for Invincible Joel Embiid. So hopefully this video does help y'all out. If it does, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more 2K content very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.